Shabbat Shalom. I know how I'm going to get rich. I've innovated and created a new phone app. It's called Worry Plus. That's right. Because I don't think as a society we're worrying enough. So my new app that I know will make me incredibly successful is called Worry Plus. And what it's going to do is every 18 minutes, it's going to send a text to your phone. And it's going to say, has your child texted you in the last 18 minutes? And if the answer is no, it's going to take you directly to the GPS to tell you where that child is at this very moment. And you can check that it's okay. And I think, too, just at random times throughout the day, it's going to send you a message through this app that just says, breaking news. Bad things are happening somewhere in the world. You should worry. There's also going to be, though, a subscription service, paid. Yes. And if you sign up for the subscription service, what it's going to do is it'll actually text all of your friends everything that you're worrying about so that they can worry about it too. I think I'm onto something here. We're in tough times right now. It feels to me like everybody is either on the verge of breaking into tears or breaking into an argument. We're sort of all on the verge of breaking, aren't we? Certainly, it was this last week. It's been the last couple of years. It's been since COVID. It's been since the birth of cell phones and social media. It's been since 9/11. And we can keep going back and see how every few years our anxiety, our depression, our fear, our worry has ramped up to the point where we are today where we're either on the verge of breaking into tears or we're on the verge of breaking into an argument. And all of us, practically all of us, are on the verge of breaking. Judaism tells us this is not how we are to live. Our tradition gives us a path out of this mess in which we currently find ourselves, because I'm going to let you in on a little secret. The Jews have been worrying for a really long time. Sometimes we're called the ever-dying people because we're so worried that this will be the generation that will be no more. And so one scholar said we shouldn't see ourselves as the ever-dying people. We should see ourselves as the never-dying people, because that's what our tradition is trying to guide us toward. We are now less than 2 weeks away from Passover. Can you believe it? And do you remember how the Passover story begins? It's not always clear from the Haggadah, because the Haggadah gives us lots of rabbinic conversations about this and about that, about 1 plague and 1,000 plagues, 1 finger and 500 fingers. So how does the story of Passover begin? It begins with Pharaoh issuing a decree, not just about slavery, but about killing our children. Because Pharaoh is sure that the way to break the Jewish people is by going after our children. Because for thousands of years, tyrants and terrorists have sought to break us by going after our children. And so what we read in the Torah is that the men became so distraught as a result of Pharaoh's decree and their worry over the children that the men said, that's it. Let's all just divorce our wives rather than bring new life into this world. And so they began the process, the men did, of divorcing their women. So what did the women do? They got together and they created a plan. And they made themselves as beautiful as they could possibly make themselves. And they went out to seek their husbands. Now, I won't give you all the details about what happened next, but we'll call it the first baby boom generation. And so what we learn from this is our first response when times get really difficult, when we don't need the Worry Plus app because our lives are so filled with worry. Our first response is to invest in our relationships. Certainly our friends, and all the more so spouses and partners. We invest in our relationship with each other. We try to seek to do good for and to offer love to our spouses and partners. And then, of course, the second lesson that is in there, and maybe the most important one, it's all about the children. It's about our children. Yes, the tyrants and the terrorists know that they're onto something when they come after our kids, because there's nothing more important in Judaism than our children and our grandchildren and the lives of young ones. So when times are at their most difficult, what do? We invest in bringing new life into this world. And then we invest in that new life. When we're scared, when we're angry, spouses come together in a partnership to work toward a better tomorrow. Families come together and rally around this goal of working toward a better tomorrow by investing in our children. Right now, in 2026, if you have the resources, how are you investing in our children? Hillel Day School, the Frankel Jewish Academy. Are you donating as much as you can donate? The Congregation Shaarey Zedek Religious School, the CSZ Village. Are you donating to build for a better tomorrow? And on top of the donating, and just as important, no, all the more important, are we investing our time and our energy in our kids to build toward a better tomorrow? Because Judaism tells us that the way out of our biggest messes is to invest in our kids. And it's not with the cell phones, just the opposite, putting away our cell phones and really immersing ourselves in joy with our kids. And all the better if it's Jewish joy. So what we see in response to the challenges of our day, of the worry and the anger, what does Judaism tell us to do? It says invest in your relationships. It says invest in your children. And then there's a third thing that Judaism advises us, and that is rooted in faith, to develop rituals of gratitude. The Passover story isn't only about how we celebrate in the home at Seder. It's also about shul every day. Torah readings every day. Because when we ritualize gratitude, we start to realize how blessed we really are. Can we right now, in the midst of all that we are dealing with, can we start each and every morning with the prayer of gratitude, with the Modeh Ani, for example? Can we proclaim Shema Yisrael? Can we light Shabbos candles? Can we invest with our friends, with our family, in making Shabbos every Friday night? Can we take an opportunity to turn to our spouses, our kids, our parents, and just say, thank you. Thank you for the blessing that you are to me. Thank you for all that you do for me. And we ritualize gratitude. It's not the first time we Jews have been in a difficult situation. We invest in our relationships, we invest in our kids, and we express our faith by saying each and every day words of gratitude, because we are incredibly blessed as well. Now, over the next couple of weeks, less than a couple of weeks as we prepare for Pesach, there is, I think, another lesson here. And that is to be mindful of what is going out of our homes and what is coming into our homes. We know that we will spend the next week and a half or so shopping and shopping and shopping. And we'll spend the next week and a half of our lives cleaning and cleaning and cleaning. So let me invite you to think about during that process, not just the chametz that goes in and the chametz that goes out and the pesadik of food that comes in, but about the aspects of our lives that need to go out, that are causing and exacerbating the fear and the anger. And how can we bring in the joy and the gratitude and the blessing so that it can really be a Chag Sameach? And you know, as we are preparing for Passover at the last few hours, what do? We clean our homes with a feather and a candle. And the reminder is that while all the Jewish people are told to remove chametz from their home, your obligation really is to remove chametz from your own home. You don't have to bring light into the entire world, but you do have to light one candle to bring light to wherever you are. We live in dark times. How can you bring light to your place? How can you bring light to your relationships? How can you bring light to your family? We do it by investing in each other, investing in our kids, investing in our homes, and working to make this world a better place by just starting with ourselves and those we love the most. We don't need an app to tell us to worry, because it seems like so many of us are on the verge of breaking into tears or breaking into arguments. We're on the verge of breaking. So when we are on the verge of breaking, let us bring ourselves in and focus on that which is most important, on each other and on our kids, on that which we can bring into our home and that which needs to go out of our home, and on bringing light wherever there is darkness. We are marching on our way now to Pesach. May it be 2 weeks. May it be a Pesach. May it be a month now in this month of Nisan. May it be a year of joy and blessing, of healing and hope for us, for all the Jewish people, and for all the world. And let us say together, Amen and Shabbat Shalom.